Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Odio, and I'm here today to review Predator Badlands for you. Oh, another Predator movie? Two in 1 year? Has this ever happened? I don't think so. Let's get into it here. Well, yes, indeed. It appears Dan Trachtenberg is back. He did Prey, and now we're getting Predator Badlands. Earlier on in the year, we had Predator Killer of Killers. That was kind of the animated one with like an anthology of stories. I kind of like that one because we got to see some different Predators and things like that. But I know it wasn't the most popular, but at least it was a pretty good time. But Predator Badlands, we're back to the live action. And for the first time ever, the Predator is the protagonist. Well, he does pick up some friends and compatriots upon the way. It is still his story mainly, and our main guy is called Deck. He is a predator. Now, when the movie opens up, we're on, I guess, Yacha Prime. Like the predators are called the Yacha, and this they don't call them predators, which I guess makes sense. But we start off with this guy Deck. He's like the runt of the litter, and he's training with his brother Kwai. They're training pretty hard too, swinging swords and everything. It opens up with a really cool fight. I really liked it. CGI is good throughout the whole movie, but the tone just like right away it feels PG-13. It feels more like Star Wars. They even had him kind of like stand in front of a few silhouettes here and there. It felt like an episode of Mandalorian at times, but hey, I like Mandalorian, so I don't want to make that sound like it's a complaint, but that is the vibe I got right away. But then we meet the brother Kwai. He is not a runt. He's a big dude, and they're like fighting and training, and like I said, it's a cool fight scene between the brothers, just like in the Killer of Killers. Remember the two samurai brothers are kind of training with their like jerk of a father. Similar thing here. These two predators are training, but you find out after a bit they have a jerk of a father. With those predators, they have to learn how to defend themselves, how to fight, because the Yacha are a pretty brutal race overall, and they have to pick a planet to go to. And the little runt guy's like, well, I don't know what planet I'm going to go to. I do want to mention too, when the movie starts, they have like these little lines like the Yacha are not afraid, they're never prey, and they don't have any friends. And I'm like, okay, we're within 5 minutes of this movie now. Clearly, these people are friends. The two brothers are definitely friends. They hang out and stuff together. They're trying to defend each other from the father, and they say they're never prey. But when he goes to pick a planet, he's like, not that planet. It's Jenna, the Death Planet. That's where the Calisk leaves. Even father's afraid of that. What? He's afraid of it? I'm not. Are you sure?
You sure about that?
But anyway, the first 20 minutes or so really starts off with a bang. I was sucked right into the Predator universe. I really enjoyed Deck and Kwai and their training sessions. I love seeing the Predator Prime planet. We even get to see, they always have that trophy room with all the different heads. Like, there's a T-Rex in there, a Xenomorph. I think the alien from Independence Day was in there too. There's like a human spine. Really cool. I love seeing those. Every time they kind of show those in a Predator movie, I'm like, yeah, it all ties it back together, coming back to the lore. So, anyways, after the brothers are training or whatever, we get to meet the psychotic predator dad, and the dad seems like the predator. Like that guy, he's not talk. Like they talk a lot in this, or about their feelings, or about whatever, which is very strange. They try to humanize the predator, which is a really bad idea. I think they sort of demystify a lot of the mysteries behind the predator. Same thing. I don't think that's a good idea. But the dad comes across as like a real predator. We must cull the weak. If you can't kill your weak brother, I should have to kill you. Like it was cool. I really like seeing the dad, and they have a crazy violent scene right at the beginning, which sends our protagonist, our hero, off. His brother has to save him basically and shuts him off to an island, or not an island, sorry, goes to another planet. I love planet hopping, like Chronicles of Riddick style and sci-fi and Mandalore, all those kind of things. Star Wars, I love it when they go and do that. And this has a very sci-fi, Star Wars and Marvel combined feel. Even though it's like should be like an Alien and Predator combined feel, I didn't really get that. I didn't, but we are looking at Predators. So anyway, our main character Deck goes to that planet Jenna, the Death Planet. He's going to try to hunt the Calisk and bring back his corpse or a trophy to prove to them all that he's a real Yacha. He's a real predator, even though he's the runt of the litter and they were supposed to cull him and kill him. He's not giving up. So when he crashes on that planet, because of course he crashes, nothing goes right for this guy, and he gets all his weapons together. We got like a cool sort of commando powering up, like get this weapon, whoosh, this weapon, push, push, push. And then immediately, my favorite part of this whole movie, though, is the planet itself. All the monsters, the environments, the trees, everything is an enemy or a weapon that can be used against the predator, and it is awesome. He has to fight so many battles. And even though this predator is like a, invincible sort of like top predator type thing, he's not that strong. And he never wears the mask, that predator mask that the original guy had. We always see his face. He does look like a runt predator. He does not look scary or cool like the other predators. I didn't find at all. Also, one weird thing with our little runt predator, he roars a lot. Like, when they roar and like all their fangs spread out, like the old predator, like roar. Well, when our little runt guy roars, I don't find it doesn't quite sound like that. It's not like this terrifying roar. We're like, oh my god, a monster's coming. It was more like, "Arr!" Like it totally reminded me of Simba from Lion King, Simba? Yeah, it totally sounded like that. Reminded me of like Wolverine's origins, where he keeps screaming like "rah rah." He does it so many times in the movie, and like it just never frightens me or really works, and doesn't make him look powerful or anything like that. But hey, whatever. Hey, he's trying. He's working on his roar. And you know what? We never get in his head. We always get like the vision where they see red or they can change it with the helmet on to see the different views. Not once. We never go in Deck's head and see the view like that. And I was waiting for it. I like seeing that in Predator. But like I said, they're trying to humanize and demystify. But when you see the way they see in their vision and things, it really changes. Like you're like, wow, this is truly an alien. But anyway, as Deck's adventuring around the planet with he's got like this heat sword or flame sword, whatever. He's chopping up plants and vines. We fight giant monsters, insects. It's quite the adventure. He goes on a lot of, like, I love the combat. Like, that's the best part. When you see all the fights and things like that, the CGI is great. The action sequences totally work. You totally believe a predator is there, but he's kind of a weak predator. Gets his ass kicked a lot.
Oh, that really hurt. I'm gonna have a lump there, you idiot. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
But yeah, it is PG-13, and it's kind of more meant for everyone. So the Predator's journey is kind of like Wizard of Oz a little bit, or sort of like I said, Star Wars and Mandalorian. He starts off alone, but as he's adventuring, he gets little friends. He gets a little monkey friend named Bud, who's actually like, I think, a Kalisk or something. And then he gets he gets this weird lizard, like an eel thing that wraps around him. It can spit acid. It's weird, but it like becomes his friend because he feeds it and stuff. And then he runs into also a robot in a tree. And this is a chick. She's played by Ellie Fanning, whatever it is. Thea. She is ridiculously bad. Like when he comes across her at first, I'm like, oh, there's like a happy robot up in the tree. And then she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. She starts talking. And let me tell you, once she starts talking, she does not stop. I feel like Bluey joined him or something like that. Just constantly filling the silence with noise or random jokes or quips, which is where the Marvel feel comes in. She just keeps talking and talking. And the whole time I'm like, holy crap, like, Deck, Predator, why are you listening to her? I mean, she's only half a thing.
You don't count, Happy. You don't have any legs.
And not only should you not be listening to her, she's just incessant. Half the movie, when like any moment comes, she'll just be like, oh, what's this? Or what's going on? Or where are you from? Like, oh my God, just stop, lady, stop.
Shut up!
But anyway, once she gets introduced, he kind of like is trying to carry her around. She, of course, has to save him and like cure him and stuff like that, of course, because he gets knocked down and beat up, captured, defeated, destroyed. This is the weakest Predator we've ever seen on the screen. It almost reminds me of Superman, where it's like, we don't want him to be some all-powerful killing machine or whatever, but like, this is the Predator. That's what he's supposed to be. He should be introduced like that. If you go watch the 1987 Predator, then watch this one, it's like it'll give you whiplash, like how different these movies are. I mean, to go with that, I've also heard if you like the old 1987 or the Predator 2 movie, that you probably won't like this one. If you're a purist, it doesn't feel like a rated R Predator monster movie if you know anyone like that.
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
The tone is completely off, but she's a Weyland-Yutani synth too, which means, yes, she's from the Aliens franchise, and there's a bunch of synths on the planet as well. So even though he's there to get the trophy of the Kalisk, looks like he's not the first one there, and he's not the only one after the Kalisk trophy. But yeah, well, so once we get Thea in there, we start to get her backstory because she can talk, and we get the universal translator so he can understand her and stuff. At one point, she's like, just use me, carry me on your back like a tool. He turns around to her and says, you are a tool. I was like, yes, she is. Great line, bro. You really nailed it there. As he's like carrying her around, we get her backstory with her and this other emotional robot named Tessa, who are like sisters.
Emotional, damn it!
Even though they're machines. It reminded me a lot. I don't know if you've all seen, the Resurrection, Alien Resurrection. We get Winona Ryder. She's like a synth with feelings back then and stuff. So kind of reminded me of that because they don't act like the other synths. The rest of the synths are just pylons, really. They're to be killed or destroyed by the Predator or monsters or other things. That's really all they're there for. But one thing is different about this Predator. Like, he doesn't have his cloak because I guess you have to earn that or something. He also doesn't have his weapon. One of the synths has that from the crash. So what he does have is his predator instincts and a blade and a sword, and he kills a lot of people. It's really, even the sins. He cuts through a lot of them. We get a really cool final fight. And if you've seen Aliens, any of them, well, you know how much they like the loader. Well, they bring a supercharged, gigantic loader for the final fight. It's almost thrown over buildings and giant trucks. It was awesome. Like I said, lots of the action is good, but I would have really liked to see some of that predator vision, like when we go inside his head. Also, he's standing still a lot. There's multiple scenes where he's just standing still, and like he'll chop up like 40 synths or whatever, and then they'll walk up, freeze, don't move. I found those parts a bit stupid because I'm like, well, he just chopped up like 40 dudes. Just shoot him. You're not going to be like, freeze. I don't know. And he gets captured at one point, which I just find pathetic. I don't like that. The predator shouldn't get captured. I want him to be seen more as an all-powerful being. But like I said, they really try to humanize and demystify the alien Yacha predator. The Wailing Yutani synths were a nice addition, but honestly, it doesn't have a predator feel. It doesn't even have an alien feel. Like, these aren't scary type of monsters. Like I said, it feels more like a Star Wars Marvel mashup. But hey, it is a good sci-fi movie. I had fun. I liked the adventure. I liked the planets. I liked all the little creatures and things that he made friends with. I liked all the big fights he got into, the mystery of finding new stuff on the planet and things. Overall, I mean, it's a pretty good time. They have a lot of references and throwbacks to the other Alien and Predators. Like I said, they're Wailing Yutani since. They even talk to Mother at one point, and I've never seen Mother talk in words before. It's usually like click, click, click on the little thing, but she talks in this one and, tells them like, oh, you're doing a good job, or you're doing talking to the synths anyway, whatever. And then we get like this emotional journey where, oh my God, like Elle Fanning's Thea, a lot of times she just won't leave the predator alone. Like, where are you from? Why are you upset? What do you like? Like, oh my God, stop. Just stop. But the story does get, I think, a really nice conclusion. I don't want to spoiler the ending, but the final fight is great. It's exactly what I wanted when the movie started, and you get it right at the end, and it kind of finishes the story. They do put a little cliffhanger in there at the very end, but overall, great. From start to finish, you get one complete story, and you know where he's going, what he's doing, and how his story kind of ends. So I thought it was good like that. They wrapped it up nicely. Overall, I would give Predator Badlands probably a 7.5 out of 10 on the odometer. Wasn't a big fan of Elle Fanning or the Predator being so weak and small, not getting that head vision, and like a couple things, like it just didn't have the feel or the tone of a Predator movie at all, or an Alien movie, but it did have the feeling of a good, fun sci-fi movie. So it's not too bad a time out. It's a pretty easy recommend. You'll have a pretty decent time. Just don't watch the other Predators first, because if you watch Predator or Predator 2 and you watch this, it's like I said, it doesn't even feel like it's in the same universe, but whatever. We're on to new directors and new things now, but I don't think it was as good as the old ones. But like I said, if you're looking for a pretty fun, good sci-fi movie, hey, you got it right here. Predator Badlands is a pretty good time out. But thanks for watching this far, guys. Really appreciate that. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. And remember, everybody, stay out of trouble.